In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your Daggerspines to complete the level 100 for pretty decent repair. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. As I go ahead and get started, I do want to say that this is my second time hitting one of these targets. Had a little glitch with the map and didn't show me the battle report. I figured that's important for you guys to see, but I also want you to know that I had practice with this one before. I'm not going to run through it 12 times, however, and just show you the best result. Starting in this target, and the disadvantage of the Daggerspines is it takes a lot longer to kill things. Fortunately, most of this target isn't too reliant on needing to kill something quickly, which is why I say that U2, U1 rampages can work just as well as your U3 rampages, but that's besides the point. Once that first turret is down, let's go ahead and move inside the minimum range of these next two turrets while making sure you're out of range of this short range guy right here, and out of range of all of these ones that pop up just as soon as you've entered in the area. Not too tricky here, this one's the big one that you need to make sure you're staying out of range from. Once I kill the dumbfire turret and then the short range chain gun turret, I'm going to do my same thing where I kill the next short range chain gun turret and head off to the left side pretty quickly here. Let's see if we can't move inside the minimum range and work on killing that one before something else shoots at me. Now because I'm inside his minimum range, I don't really need to worry about him, but there is the dumbfire turret there, which we'll see if we can't sneak and just get outside that one, kill the long range turret while maintaining a good distance from that dumbfire turret. For the next dumbfire turret, I'm actually going to shift click the flamethrower right here because I have had a tendency in the past to run into the flamethrowers. They're pretty hard for me to see, and get inside the minimum range of the dumbfire turret while staying out of range of the next one. Now this next part is tricky. What I want to do is get inside the minimum range of the dumbfire turret and stop, because the Daggerspine does a lot more damage when you're stopped, which is really helpful. If you're stationary, you have, I think it's higher supercharge actually. Essentially, you just get shockwave more often and do more damage more often. Once that dumbfire turret is down, I'm going to deal with the next two. I'm not going to click too far forward because we have these next three turrets that pop up, so I want to make sure I'm outside of this range right here. I'll just go ahead and move forward inside the minimum range of these two, outside the range of that last one there. By the way, you can shift click and hold down on things just so you don't have to see anything. Or don't have to worry about the range and play around with that. That's what I'm doing. I'm shift clicking on those. You can shift click on one and hover over the other to see the minimum range that you need to get into, which is the next thing I have to do here. Just move real closely, just inside those ranges, and stop before you get into the third range of the chain gun turret right there. Nothing too tricky so far, and actually I've driven it pretty well if I don't say so myself. Once those three turrets are down, your next technique here is to go up towards the north, and you need to get into the minimum range of these three turrets while staying outside the ranges of those two flamethrowers, going to drop down a little bit back to the south, and then immediately back up towards the center of the target, and that should be all the driving you need to do. Now, as I said, I am using a Creeping Death crew because there is a lot more damage needed. My ships have a lower damage, the Daggerspines have a lower damage than the Rampages do. Now, unfortunately, my ships here, Daggerspines, are at X1 because they're 6 months old at this point. I don't have the ability to scrap them and rebuild them E1 to show you what that might look like, but the things I'm showing are not dependent on how long it takes to kill something. It's dependent on sort of the path, which should be consistent across all upgrade levels. But if you happen to have upgraded Daggerspines and not upgraded other ships, then you don't really need to do this. Unfortunately here, it looks like I have the same bug with the victory screen, so I'm just going to have to leave the map, and we're going to miss seeing the battle report. But the total repair time here is 8 minutes and 46 seconds with a pretty high evade build, and this build damage here evade is up to 89% before using a crew. Maybe Caesar Prince is a better way to go instead of Creeping Death, but I like Creeping Death. It makes the targets go faster, and the others are your standard Daggerspine builds. One of them is still at U3. By the way, if you check the YouTube description, I have a Google Doc with all my builds for Battle Pirates in there. Go ahead and check that out if you want any more. With that said, I want to go ahead and say thank you to those folks whose names appear on the end screen now. They're helping make the channel possible. If you join now, I'll have you added before the next raid for sure. With that said, and until next time, this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.